Hi, everyone. Just making sure I'm on my right page or my right group. Just making sure I'm on YouTube and not Facebook is what I'm doing. I'm changing over my broadcasting to Be Life TV for my YouTube. So I just want to make sure I'm actually on. So if you're here, if you're watching, could you please let me know if I'm on? If you can see me. Because right now I'm not seeing me. So if you're here and you're showing up, I'd like to know if I'm actually on. But welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new, if you're just following me for the first time, thank you for being here with me. Thank you for following. I never know exactly when I'm coming in here, and I try to do it when I have time, which is in between clients. So that work has to come first, or in between my teachings. Today is March the 9th, and it is the full moon. So I thought it would be a good time to come in, and if you're in Canada right now and you're watching some of the new stuff that's been happening this morning and around us, you're probably a little bit kind of disturbed. Or if you're watching the world news right now, you're probably a little bit disturbed with everything that's happening. I'm not. Well, not that I'm not. Not that I don't worry about some things, but I try not to worry what's in our control and what's out of our control. So this full moon feels like, for me, this is a time of when the ground starts to thaw, and I feel like the crust, the layers start to break. So when we start to become unfrozen, when we're no longer numb, is what I'm getting. I have no idea why my video is not coming up. If there's anybody here can tell me if you can actually see me, that would be lovely. And the reason why I need to be able to see myself on the screen is because that would be lovely. Okay. Still not seeing. All right. So I'm leaving this going. I'm just going to leave this running as is, and I'm just bringing down the, okay, so I'm leaving this going. I'm just going to leave this running as is, and I'm just bringing down the, I have a noise coming in from somewhere, so I can hear myself talking. This has been, every time I try to start a new system, this is what it does to me. But I'm here, it looks like I'm in the YouTube channel, so I'm assuming that I am. But we're here today to talk a little bit more about the energies that are around, what we're feeling inside, what this full moon is kind of effing with us, how it plays with us. We're just coming out of retrograde. We're right on that end of freaking retrograde. It's like it's going direct, and things are changing. So we've had to go through some blah at times, or if you've been feeling like kind of like everything's been on hold, like everything's been paused. What I feel as if what I'm channeling through right now, it kind of feels as if we're finally starting to become numb, like we're starting to thaw out. We're kind of being able to feel what we've put on pause and hold, and the things that we've kind of buried in the past, buried that we didn't want to have to deal with. Shit that we didn't want to have to deal with, we have to deal with right now before we move forward. So there's like this illumination, there's this light up of energy that's happening, as if we're being lit up to show us exactly what's going on around us, to show us exactly what we have happening in our own lives, and where we are right now. So it's like, what is your true reality of what is facing you right now? What are you looking at right now? What are you seeing right now? If you see me looking down, I'm actually just looking at my YouTube channel because I really need to be able to see the screen, and I can't see nothing on my end, except the fact that I'm seeing my face on a big screen and all of my other stuff is not here. And I don't want to have to end the broadcast and start again. So I'm trying to stay in here and not have to lose my connection. But it's really weird. Oh my God, finally found it. I'm trying to stay. Okay. So if you're here and you're watching, please let me know. I can now see the comments that are coming up. So I wanted to come in and do a few cards about this full moon, about, about what's shining on our lives, what is being spotlighted in our lives right now that's saying, okay, I may not have dealt with this, or what emotions, or what of the past, or what parts within our relationships, and that includes the one with ourselves, are we not facing, are we not dealing with? It's like, if you keep putting the blinders on, or you keep letting all those red flags that come up in relationships, and you're just like, oh yeah, but maybe that's not real, maybe that's not happening, but you feel it and you sense it and you're not trusting your intuition, or you keep allowing yourself to be like your energy, your light to be blocked by something from the past, and you got this it's like, oh, I have this nagging feeling I should be doing this. I have this nagging feeling this is what I should be doing. Well, this is the time to get really freaking real with yourself. Get really true and honest with yourself. And when you're always blaming the world for everything that's wrong in your life, or saying, well, that's not what I wanted to hear. That's not, and then you're always getting that. It's like the whole essence of, well, they're wrong. They don't know what they're talking about. No one knows what they're talking about. When we don't want to face our own reality, we don't want to face the things that we have to look at. And so this Mercury retrograde that is just going to be heading direct, and then us being in this full moon is like full illumination on the things that we keep putting blinders onto within our lives, including our own emotions, our own feelings, our own thoughts, our own dreams, our own desires, whatever it may be that we have been kind of putting the brakes on, not acknowledging, not looking at, or hiding our truth. Like, I don't know why my life is so bad. I don't know why things go this way. I don't know why this is always happening. What is your contributing role in everything that's happening, or what do you continue to do? If you're in some sort of relationship where there's a real serious issue with, with whatever addictions or whatever, and or emotional abuse, and it's continuing, well, there is a real problem. Stop saying there is not a problem. And now, how am I going to deal with this problem? How am I going to move past this problem? What am I going to do? What am I going to do within myself? Because you can't change somebody else. And so the full illumination, the full light ups that's happening right now is that we have to face our fears, face the things that hold us back, and start allowing yourself to recognize that there's parts of this journey that are not going to serve me for my future journey, my future path, that I need to let go of. Hi, Liz. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Now I know people can actually see this video. I'm trying a new broadcast. Well, it's not new. It's the one I use in Facebook. So it's Be Live instead of the one I was using previously. So I want to be able to see the comments. And so this full illumination also is lighting up the skies and lighting up the energy of the angels. The angels have really, really landed hard. They're here and they're saying, we've kind of forgot to have faith. We forgot to have faith in ourselves. We're putting false faith into other people. Like, my whole happiness depends on the conditioning of this other person. If only he would fix their lives, or if only they would fix their lives, or if only they would do things better, I would be happy. That is called bullshit. Other people changing their lives is not what's going to ever bring you happiness. What brings us happiness and wholeness is going inward, what is on the inside. And so the angels are really bringing us towards the inner self, looking at the inner self and having compassion enough for yourself and enough sense of saying, I know I might not feel worthy right now, but I know I am worth discovering what is going to make me feel worthy. And we want to move forward with a healthy life and a healthy new forward momentum. We have to look at what's not healthy. And of course, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist, and this is not a personal reading. Please remember that. This is and you always have free will. This is to be taken as a form of entertainment, resonates with you, and it helps you in some way. I'm glad. I'm not a guru. I'm not your guru. I'm a guide. I work as a professional life coach, and I work in empowerment and transformation, and I work in psychic medium work, and I work as a past life healer. I work as a spiritual healer. And the only way spiritual healing works is if you take the action steps to spiritually heal your own life. You can take all the tools in the world and you can put them in the bank, but if you don't give them action and you don't start taking forward movement, nothing happens. So as we're underneath the beautiful full moon, it's a very practical kind of moon. I feel very practical. It's like laying down the law of just be practical. The angels that are coming through are being very practical. This is not whimsical, but I do feel the essence of the whimsicalness of like fairy-like. Like there's so much fun to still be had. And I know people are probably going to be listening going, it's freaking Alberta today. Did you hear the news? Did you see what's happening? Did you see well, I could. And I don't live in denial. I am a realist. But I believe that some of the dismantling that needs to happen within our lives, this is so that a door closes so that another door of opportunity can open. And I can't live in fear. I have to live in a place of stepping up into faith and believing I'm going to stay on looking for solutions in my life. So I build my life and my business and my whole self from the inside out. So no matter what's happening on the outside, it cannot be disturbing my inside sense of worthiness that I have in here. Will shit happen? Of course shit happens. But you're being told to remember your creative side. So we can still be very practical, still be making those steps forward. But what is it that needs to be created right now? And so what are we trying to create? And this is why the angels are here. Why are you not asking us to help you create a life that you're searching for? Why are you not asking us to help you remember your dreams? Why are you not asking us to come to you in your dreams? Why are you not asking us to cut the ties to things that are in your life that are not serving you? Why are you trying to do it all by yourself? And why are you holding on to everything that's happening within the world as if it's your personal responsibility to fix it all and to carry the bad behavior of others? It is not yours to do. And so I'm pulling 3 cards. And I know everyone's like, and I just keep saying, the channel just keeps saying, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. I know you're thinking that, well, how can you see any good in the world when I have this bad around me? How can we see any good? And I hate to have to tell you, I'm seeing good. So whether you want to believe it or not, that's totally up to you. But I'm seeing good. But we got to get creative. We got to start thinking differently. We got to start working with each other differently. And nothing's going to happen by being divided in any way. And so that means being divided from your true self to your shadow self, from your inner self to your outer self, from your higher self to your individual. You got to put your shit together, and you got to be that ball of oneness within in order for life to be able to unfold the way that it is meant to unfold. The more that we keep trudging through the mud and we keep trudging through those past and we're not being creative about how we're going to get through, or we're not using our voice, or we're not being honest and authentic, the more that we're kind of kissing the ass of the past, that you can't move forward because you're looking that direction. Why are you looking that direction? Facing your lips and your eyes forward, in the forward direction. Be facing the sun. And that's what we're coming more towards as the time just did a change. And as the sun days are longer, there's more sunlight. So there is sunlight coming in, and the ground is thawing. This is what this moon is about. It really is about the season when the crust of the earth that freezes over on the inside of the earth freezes over. And so when it starts to thaw, new life begins. And so there has to be death. There has to be things that have to die away and fall away, so that new birth, new beginnings, fresh starts can happen. But it's illuminating. If you've planted all these new seeds and then you put a bed of rocks on top of it, how's it going to come through? How's light going to get to it? So it's like you got to push this aside, You got to clear out the rocks to let the sun come in so that the ground can thaw and that the seeds can break out and build up a new life. That's the only way I can describe how I'm seeing it, because that's exactly as I'm seeing it, that there is good happening. So the cards that I pulled was this creative. You got to get creative about how you're going to heal through. There's peace and harmony. And as much as we don't want to see it, there is peace and harmony. And I got, there is nothing to worry about, because worrying, nothing gets solved in worry. Nothing. You cannot solve one effing thing in worry. It just projects more fear into the world. And as I said this morning, and these news stations were on, I'm like, what a prime what a prime place for, like, it's like mold festering. They tell the same story 8 times in 1 hour. About 8, 9 times you hear the same repeat of the same effing story of what is going on within the world. We know you didn't need to repeat it, but it's like, if we can get more followers or we can get more viewers by having people be invested into keeping your eye on what is going to go wrong instead of what is going to go right. How about we have a little good news today? And I remember being a kid, and there was a show in Newfoundland called, I think it was called like A Little Good News, and this song would come on and it would highlight the good things in the world. Or in Newfoundland, it would highlight what everyday people were doing of good, kind things from their heart out into the world, like helping animals, doing good things. How come we don't have more of that? And why is it that we tend to want to go to the fear and want to go to the darkness and want to look at what is going wrong instead of what's going right? If we start putting the focus on what is actually going right in the world, you can actually start to see some goodness in the people that you've labeled as being really freaking bad people, because there's still good things happening. And so we move past the worry and we go to faith, because we are losing faith and we're placing ourselves more and more into this essence of the darkness as if, and it's not going to thaw. And now that we can feel, we can give our voice of anger a voice of love, or give our anger a voice of love, and give our fears a voice of faith. We can be a change, but it cannot happen by staying in the other stuff. It really can't. You're not sure what is still blocking you? You. It's always us. I hate to tell you, it's so when we're not trusting, who's the one person we don't trust? Ourselves. What is the one change that needs to be made in our lives? The biggest problem in our lives is usually within ourselves. And so when we're not trusting anybody, or when we're living in the fear, we're not having faith. And when you're not trusting anyone on the outside world, the one person you don't trust the most is yourself, because we're still lying to ourselves. We're still trying to convince ourselves of something that we want to make work that is not working for us within our lives, or we're still trying to tell ourselves the same stories that we've been telling ourselves for however many years of our lives. I just wrote that. In the last chapters of the book, I wrote deception. The only person that deceives us is ourselves, because we will make everyone else out to be the problem in our lives. We will make everything else out to be the problem, because we don't want to face the reality of the essence of our own contributing factors into our own lives. What holds us back? What keeps us from going forward is that we do not have faith in ourselves. And if you have faith in yourself and faith in the fact that you know beyond know that God has a plan for us, and there's something more, that there's something meant for us, and we're here to do something, that we just truly, all we have to do is take action steps, put one foot in front of the other, and worry will not fix anything. If you instantly say, I want to do this in my life, and then you throw in, but what if this goes wrong? What if that? Oh, but I am worried. But I'm worried if I can't do this. I'm worried if I can't do that. Instead of saying, I'm not sure how this is all going to unfold, but I'm going to just start taking one step in front of the other. But if you walk into a place and say, you know what, I really want to help do this, and I really want to learn this, but I'm really worried I'm not going to be very good at it. I'm just going to tell you up front, I'm not very good at this. Or I'm very worried about what everyone else is going to think. Or I know everything's going to go wrong, because everything always goes wrong in my life. Well, of course everything's going to go wrong because you've already predetermined it. You've already made up your mind of that your life is going to go exactly as planned. And if you're still trying to wait for somebody else in your life to live a better life in order for you to live a better life, or when you're living a better life, and then you take what you have inside of you and you start to give it to someone else, like, you know what, I'm doing so good, I want you to have all this, and I'm just going to keep giving and giving to you, and I'm going to drag you to all my events, and I'm going to make, that's not going to make them better people. That's you trying to make them into somebody you want them to be to fit into the new world that you're trying to create. Or if you're worried about, if you say, like, all the money's going missing, I don't know why all the money's going missing, we can never get things paid, but that other person keeps spending all the money, but you want to keep the blinders on too, I don't know why this is all happening. Well, you do know exactly why it's all happening. I know why this is happening in my life, is being honest with yourself. It's not saying that you got to walk away from everything and say, this is the reality of my life. This is what's really happening in my life. I'm allowing this because this is what I want to do. I'm choosing this path and I'm choosing this direction because this is what my heart feels it wants to do right now. Honest. Now that's being honest. Well, what do I do in the meantime to help be a change in the other parts of my life? Because I can't change this, and I'm not willing to walk away from this, and I'm not willing to do this, and I can't see me being courageous enough to do this. But when you start to be honest with yourself, then you stop having that chatter in your head, because now you're telling yourself the truth. And when you start to tell yourself the truth, then you can start to have compassion for yourself. Then you can start to say, God, that takes a lot of effort. And I can see where that person may be coming from. I understand that that's where they are. Understand, and maybe we don't, but it's like, once we can see all aspects, including your own reasons of why with love, then we're able to make changes. The biggest commodity we have is love. And without love for ourselves, and without love for the world, and without love for our neighbors, and without love for everyone around us, including ourselves, we don't have nothing. So instead of worry, see love. Instead of worry, have faith. It's about moving past the worry. And it's a full moon behind here. So I can tell you, it's lighting up. And so what it's lighting up in my life today is love. As I watched all that, I felt a little bit of sad for the world. I felt a little bit of like, oh. And then I thought, I have a choice today. I have a choice. I can choose to go on Facebook or on YouTube, wherever it is, and I can start to talk about the world and doom and gloom. Or I can reach higher. So I reached higher, and I went in and I asked the holies. And I asked Archangel Michael, and I asked Jesus, and so I asked the Ascendant Masters, I asked the holies, I asked Jesus, I asked Mother Mary, I asked everyone that's up there, allow me to be the voice that you need me to be today. What is asked of me today? What shall I be today? What shall I do today? And I was told to have courage. Have courage to speak the truth that peace is amongst us, and we're just not willing to see the peace. Have courage to say that we have nothing to worry about. Have courage to say that the fated things in this world will have to transpire. We can't stop the fated world from happening. And the moment you do, you're trying to control. You're trying to control a fated life that you cannot control. And when we do that, we have anger, we have frustration, we have fear, we have everything that comes in here. And this is not a time to have anger, frustration, and fear. It's a time to have faith. And in faith, we can see light. And when we start to see light, we see love. And when we see love, we have peace in our hearts. And when we see love, we can forgive. When we have peace, love, we have harmony. And when we have harmony, we start to come into oneness. When you have oneness, you have everything. And when you have oneness, we have strength. And it truly is time to step into oneness. It's about asking these beautiful angels who have come to earth to help us in such big ways. When we can allow that flow to happen. And these are courageous words to have to step out into a world and say, but they're real. I've had to make some courageous decisions myself over this past few weeks, and some of them was to speak my truth in my book and to reach out to people and ask for people's permission to speak, to tell my own story or my version of my own story. and to speak of those people that I love with love, while still telling that we were human beings that had to go through challenges, but we've learned and we're better people, but I still had to have permission. And that's a big thing to have to do. And then I've realized that there was places that I could rewrite the story without having that. I could still tell my story without needing that permission. And so it felt as if the book would not be able to go ahead, and that is heart-wrenching. To think that my book, after all these years, would not be able to be published because I was speaking a truth. I wasn't lying. It's how I felt. It was my story. It was what I experienced. But I was not lying about how much I loved everybody, no matter who they were, that have entered into my life, and how I could forgive everybody. That's also not a lie. Because hanging on to anger towards somebody was never affecting them. It was killing me. And worrying wasn't solving any of my problems. None. So today over the past few days, my dear friend who helped me through all this has sent me these things that I needed to do. And this morning I got up and I did it with strength, and I did it with courage, and she said, it has to be done because there's no other way around this. And so, see, right underneath this card, and these are both Doreen Virtue decks of cards. And you can't get most Doreen Virtue cards now. Well, you can still buy them. Very expensive, but you can't. But I don't think they're in publishing. Now, I could be wrong. This is only what I've heard. I don't know for sure. But I also get the sense that, from the place of people who've judged her for leaving this work and going another path, it's her journey. It's her path. It's what she's meant to do. And so the essence that even though she's left, the beautiful energy of these cards are coming through hugely right now. And I mean, I work in all of this, and I also have a strong faith in the God consciousness. I have a strong faith in Jesus. Jesus was a healer, walked on earth. I work as a spiritual healer. And so I can tell you these cards set on top of each other like this. This is Mother Mary transformation. This is Archangel Michael, and Jesus, and cutting the cords. And so it's like cutting the cords and allowing ourselves to accept the help that they're trying to hand over to us. So for us to surrender over the need to be in control to us, to the divine, and to the divine essence of just saying, I can expect good things to happen, because I'm telling you, if you have faith, and not saying there's still going to be fated things that have to transpire in our lives, but good things can happen. Good things will happen. I see good things happening. And when you look into the eyes of those that are struggling and suffering, with love and compassion, and say, I see you, because I have been there. You're giving them a little flicker of hope that may be able to change their lives. And the last card that came out for me was the Father card. And this is an essence of, I feel like for me, this is the essence of the Father of us all. This is the God conscious light shining down on us, telling us to hold on to faith, telling us to hold on, to really go into prayers. Also some fathers who are on the other side, of course. There would be some of them that are also shining down, but they're in the light of the God conscious as well. We are all that light. And the only way I can explain it, how I see it, is like there was that one big golden light that was just like, so there's the whole essence that big golden comfort that could just sit there comfortably, decided to break apart, step itself into living through our eyes, to see if we would pass the test to surrender over and release ourselves from the misery and the suffering, and allow ourselves to see the light. There would not be a better place to place that light in this world than within all of us, because it's like playing hide and seek. It's like putting something in the closet and forgetting that it was put in there. How quickly we can forget something we cannot see. So because we can't see that light, we quickly forget that light, but that light is so present inside of us. And when you remember that, and you can look in someone's eyes and remind them that's inside of them, well, that's what he does every day. That's what that essence of the golden light of the universal love that is around us looks in at us and says, do you remember me? Today, in your days of struggles, can you remember me today? Because what we tend to do, and I spoke about this on my Facebook Live last night, if you tend to only be waiting, only praying and meditating and asking for the guides and the angels' help when you are in a state of desperation, and then you forget, and then you stop doing it all when things are going good. I don't need anyone's help now. I got it all figured out. It's the same thing, right? It's like, why do we only reach out when we're fully in our light and not when we're in our dark? If you reach out when you're in the darkness, or why do we reach out when we're only in the darkness and not in the light? Can you imagine how amplified we could be to help other people and to help the world if we start to lighten, start to continue to reach out when you're in your light? So because you achieve this and you drop down and then you achieve this, you don't look at the in-between. So it's like, I'm struggling, and then some things go right and you're like, oh, I'm doing all good, I'm all great. It's like that single, when we're single and we meet that one guy and it's like, oh, I got all these problems before you meet him. My life is so bad, I'm so struggling. If I just had somebody in my life, and then you meet that person and you're like, oh my God, I'm on top of the world. I have everything I ever wanted. I'm so happy. I'm so in love. And then they do that one thing that pisses you off. Expectations, right? And they do that one thing, and then you're fucking mad again, and then you're out of that light, and you're poof, you drop all the way back down again. My world is over, my life is over, I can't. And then you're only happy, your only happiness is defined by something that's outside of you. What about this? What about this middle world? So when you take off the blinders, when you stop pushing down the flags, and you stop wheeling and dealing with your life and making, bargaining deals about, if you give me this, I'll do this. If you stop doing all this and you just have faith that if I'm do this, I know you promised me that I would have this life. If I have faith in the dark times, if I stay in the light and I can see the light and I can reach out and help people in my low times, I know you're going to help give me this. I know this is coming forward. We don't have a timeline. We don't know exactly when. It is holding on to the faith. If we do that, if we have that, that's how we move forward. That's how our lives change. That's how we get to change. Faith in the process. Stay optimistic. Know that good things are coming. Might have to get a little bit creative. But you got to start being honest with yourself. Got to start being honest with yourself. What is working? What is not working? I'm looking down at my phone if you're wondering what I'm doing, because I follow the screen. If you're wondering what I'm doing over here, I'm so used to being in my Facebook Lives that is so full of so many people that are asking and talking to me all the time. And this is new. Hello, Amanda. Welcome. It's a very quiet morning here, or it's afternoon. Afternoon, it's not morning no more. I've been in my office all morning. So I'm just about finished. Amanda, you're going to have to go back and watch again. I think, Amanda, because I read your comment this morning, from your comment, and this, I think this live might resonate with you. So you'll have to go back and watch the whole thing when it's done recording, and it takes a few moments to download. But I am going to finish out with, this is my friend Kate Gonga's deck of cards. They are not out to the public yet, and I'm meeting up with her in Boston in a few weeks, and she has a new deck of beta testing cards for me. But I love these cards. They come with faith, and it's a very power-centered cards, are divine feminine. And I was using Mother Mary earlier. And so as I was saying about, even though we're in the illumination of the full moon, oh, thank you. I love all the new people I get to meet and hear. So as we're in the illumination of the full moon today, tomorrow, and retrograde is finally leaving us. And there's only 2 super moons this year. 2. There's this one, and there's the one on April the 8th. They're big. They're powerful. It's like, it's the changing of the tide. So it's what, it's life has to happen. Things come in, things go out. But it's like, so in all of this, it's like, it's shining a spotlight on what really needs to be defined as speaking of what we need to be honest with ourselves about our own roles, how we play a role in our lives, and what we finally need to do the healing work on and just say, I'm done, and to start to live with an essence that is if you have been reborn. This is your rebirth. This is your time of a rebirth, as if life is all new. Live as if you're curious from this on. Like so from the 13th, 14th, 15th on, it's like, that is so interesting. I just need to know more about it. I'm curious. Can you give me more information about that? Can you tell me more? Starting to have fun. I feel like have fun with children, especially children don't see the world as the doom and gloom we do, unless we keep telling them that they have to, because we instill our fears like, oh my God, you better be afraid of the world and da da da. If we do that to kids, then that's what happens, right? And so it's the whole essence that when we're here at this place right now in this moon with the being having to have felt all of our past as the ground is thawing out. This is what this moon is about. It's about the ground is starting to thaw as the new seeds that we planted in our dreams and our desires previously start to rise up. There's so many beautiful new opportunities, and there's like, don't let go of all worry and set yourself into faith, because worry does not change nothing. And so here's the return to the innocence cards that I got. It is the plain, be playful. So while the tides are out and you can see what's on the ground, good time, right? Good time to kind of start walking forward. And then as the tides come back in, it just washes away all of that past. It's like, no, because I'm creating the life that I want to see for me in love and light. I'm illuminating my life. I'm lighting up my own heart, my own desire. And I've remembered something. I've remembered that light, that happiness and joy that I've been seeking on the outside, that God consciousness, golden light, is actually inside of me. That little particles imperfectly inside of me. We are all so imperfectly perfect that it's wonderful. All of our past experiences, everything we've gone through in the past, it is in the freaking past. Who we are today, the courage and strength it has taken to get there, all of the determination to live in our light and to live happy, that's what you need to be rewarding yourself with today. Reward yourself with living a life of joy and happiness, and living as if you've just been reborn and everything is innocent and new. It's an opportunity to explore so many beautiful things. And then the other card that comes out, here's a full moon again. Here's the full moon. There's a lot of synchronicity moments that are happening. So you may be having some deja vus, and what I'm feeling and sensing right now is the fact that this is actually like the kind of the signs that you're on the right path. This is giving you like the little hints that what you're doing right now, you're on the right path. You're in the right direction. Things are going really well for you in little spots. And so it's like, move into the magic, believe in the magic, believe in miracles. And I'll hold faith to that. And I hold faith to that all the time. Hold on to the faith in magic and miracles. You got to believe in magic. We've got to be like kids. We have to believe in unicorns and fairies. And why not? Because there is beautiful magical energy coming in that is like, once this tide comes in, it's like there's changes that you weren't expecting, and you're seeing these miracle things kind of happen in your life. And like, holy fuck, how did that happen? How did I get here? How did that take place in my life? And it's like, boom. It's wonderful. It's beautiful. And why not you have the best life? Why not you live to your whole soul purpose? And why not you live and tell the whole world that I am a damn good human being? Because you are. And that's why we're here. We're here to live as humans. And humans make mistakes. And humans have shit happen. And humans have to go through the fated human experience. But ultimately, you're still a good human. Claudette. Good, Claudette. I'm glad I was able to give you some of this today, because that's what it feels like to me. It really, truly does. It feels like you're hearing all of this. And so and I know Amanda's in the US, and it's 72 there today, Amanda. Oh, how lovely. I'm like, it's actually warming up here. So it's what it feels like to me is that when I started this morning, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to be able to say what you want me to say this morning, channel Jesus, Mother Mary, whoever from the divine is channeling through. I'm like, you're telling me to say that we have nothing to worry about? When I just finished seeing some of the news and they're like, nope, there is nothing to worry about. Be optimistic. And I said, that's what I do every day, because nothing can rock my inner peace. And so it's like, yeah. And so now here was the card. I'll show you again because it's still on top of the deck. And so this was the first 3 cards. Oh, what did I do with it? I lost it. Did I? No, it's right here. These were the cards. There's nothing to worry about. Be optimistic. It's so cool. I love it. 4 years clean and my baby's best feeling ever. Thank you for this. You're helping me. Oh, congratulations, Amanda. I love that. I love to see these stories of these amazing wins and the power and strength. It takes so much courage to do the things that you've had to do to get your life to where it is. It's like, be proud. Walk with your badge of honor, your head held high, and said, I did this. I did this for me, for my babies. You are a beautiful, amazing woman. Hold on to that. And when I get to come to work when I get to come and do stage work in the US, you'll be able to come to my event. Okay. I lost the card on the floor. Can't pick it up, but it was the good card. And so here's the truth. So it's about being honest with ourselves. Yes, you should be so proud. And so this is why you should celebrate your wins with your children and out having fun and enjoying life. And I can tell you there is some magic in the air and some more miracles to happen. And I feel as if what I'm feeling is there's some unions of the souls that are joining up, and they're not twin flames. These are not freaking twin flames. This is not twin flame energy. This is soulmate energy. The essence that when we know who we are in our core, when we know who we are in the essence, there's some soul union connection healing that is taking place, that is bringing forth beautiful miracle changes of love in our lives. And it truly is. And that there is that big, strong, powerful, universal love that's above us, that's working very hard for us to just be able to say, you know what? I can see clearly now. I can see clearly now. And I can see the light. And that's what it feels like to me. I'm so proud of you, Amanda. And so gratitude and quiet are my validations. Take some time to go into that meditation. Take some time to sit with your inner child and just acknowledge your inner child for, and say, I forgive you for ever thinking you were ever responsible for this shit that went sideways in life. I forgive you for ever thinking that you needed to do more than what you needed, that was needed of you, that you weren't, and so many people don't get to be a child. They're forced into kind of being an adult way too soon. It's like having to deal with adult life before they really should have to deal with adult life. And I just feel as if this is to return to the innocence, that we're getting to reclaim the child, reclaim the innocence of the child, the rebirth time, to start over, to get to do again, but to also set that inner child free that's inside of us. And this deck of cards is absolutely beautiful. This is for my star seeds. And I love this deck. And this is a Rebecca Campbell, and the artwork's by Danielle Knoll. And it's called the Starseed Oracle. I love this deck. I love this about the deck. And it's like all these different things you do with them. And so I'm going to end out with a beautiful starseed. And they're very pastel-y. They look like Easter eggs to me. And that's what it feels like. I feel like we've been given this golden egg of opportunity that's like sitting in our hands, and we either have the choice to drop it because people say nothing good is going to happen, or we have the ability to hold it up higher and say, I can see there is golden opportunities for me. I can see there's golden opportunities. Just like I have to hold on to the faith in my book getting fully published. Hold on to faith of what my future looks like. I hold on to faith. I can only live there. And that's what we have to do. The very first card that came out today was creative projects, about creating the life that you want to see and not resisting the flow of abundance and the flow of life that's coming. And so what came out was your life is a canvas. And this is the validation. It's yours to create. No one creates our life but us. And we have the opportunity when we're honest and truthful with ourselves and we become really wanting to, we live as our authentic self and done pleasing anybody else and done kissing the ass of the past. And we move forward into the light of the future and like directly looking at the sun saying, I don't know exactly what it looks like, but man, I see it as golden. Whatever it is going to be golden. Stuff out here has to happen, but I'm at peace in here. And that's what counts. And so this is manifesting the life that you want to see happen. And do you manifest it on somebody else's fears or do you manifest it on your own faith? Manifest it on your faith. And so here's our wait game. We're just in the waiting game. And it's like, because we're riding out the last wave of the retrograde as it's getting ready to leave. And then there's a little bit of residue riding out the full moon because we got to kind of illuminate, put the spotlight on what we need to be honest with within ourselves. So we have to say, okay, that little trigger is still in my brain. That little thought is still there. So now let's take that out. Let's put that aside, get rid of that. And let's just let this life happen. Because we complicate it, but we don't need to complicate it. Let's simplify it. And I just know I'm looking at my life unfold, and I know there's beauty and wonder in there. And living in the light of the beauty, the awe, the wonder that is unfolding for us, that's what's being asked for us. And there's many beautiful synchronicity moments that I just feel and sense that are around us. And with that, I will give a postcard from Spirit Day. These are Colette Van Reed's. None of these cards are mine yet. Mine are still in creation. They go with my book. So my book is called More Than Existing. I will put the release date when I know it. I just put the cover. Well, the cover of the book will look a little bit different, but I just put that up on my Facebook page. It is in copyright publishing right now, waiting for some last little pieces to go in, and then it will be going to full publishing. So and I do teach a program called More Than Existing. And that program we will be listing the new start date for that. And if you're on my Facebook page, so Amanda, I don't know if you're on Facebook as well, but if you go to Corey Thorne, the spiritual healer, I think it comes up spiritual healer and life coach, you can actually watch my lives on there as well. And there's some events that I have posted. So I have like an angel course coming up. I have mediumship courses. I post all kinds of event stuff in there, and I do have some videos that they should be in here of my More Than Existing program. Okay, it's not letting me stop here. So this is for everyone who's joining in or everyone that's here right now, and this one is. I'm almost 49, so I got my old lady eyes that I have to keep. I have a birthday in a couple weeks. This is how the universe works. I'm born on April Fool's Day. So my birthday is April Fool's Day. My brother and I are 10 months apart in age. And when my mother was pregnant with my brother, he's 10 months older than me, she called my dad at work and told me I had to come home because she was in labor. But it was an April Fool's joke. The following April Fool's, she went back for a 6-week checkup and was pregnant with me. The following April Fool's, she calls my dad and tells him she's in labor and it's real. And he wouldn't believe her. And they had to go get him at work and get him to the hospital because I was being born. So I was the April Fool on what they call karma on my mother for trying to play a joke upon my father. So it's like, one way or another, it came back to her. So this is the Colette Van Reed postcard from Spirit that I want to read to you today. Dearest you, do you know how much we love you and want to help you? We are here for you, and we hear you ask for guidance, but you must let go and let us help you. See, just as I said earlier, you don't have to do it all. You've done your part. Now let us do ours. You would be awestruck if you knew how many strings were pulled through the matrix to give you what you need and desire. Spirit has a plan. And when you sign up to be a co-creator, you need to remember to allow the partnership. It's not one-sided. Your desires and plans meet up with those of spirits. Remember, those spirits' timetable and ideas of how things will play out might be quite different from yours. Trust us, Spirit's ideas are amazing. Now let go and let us do the magic. Pay attention to other areas of your life, and before you know it, a miracle will have taken place. We love you so much. Can't make that shit up. Just as I said. Just as I said the whole way through, and there it is. Step aside. It's like move out of your own way. Allow the magic to happen and watch these beautiful miracles unfold in our lives. What else is there for us? Everything. Reach for the stars. Reach out. Aw, thanks, Claudette. That's exactly what you want to do, Amanda? Go to my Facebook page or email me. Even if you send me an email, I can send you out all of the information. But if you're on Facebook, go to my Facebook page and go to the events or go to my website. If you go to my website, also CoreyThorne.com. No, I think you need the link. You got to go to my Facebook page and go there, and you can get to the links. And if you're not on Facebook, just send me an email and I can message you out all the upcoming classes and stuff. I'll send you the links. So, much love. Thank you for being here. Allow yourself to go outside, sit out underneath the full moon, do a little prayer meditation, say thank you. Say thank you to the divine that is always here helping us, pulling those strings. Those beautiful angels that are here, they're just saying ask, and we'll be there for you. Yeah. So, much, much love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I'll be seeing you all very soon. Bye-bye.